AITA for asking my girlfriend to move out because she started a career as an influencer and stopped respecting my privacy. My girlfriend recently started building a career as an influencer. She often filmed me without consent, even during private conversations. I tried to tell her I needed privacy and suggested she should consider moving out, but she accused me of being selfish and unsupportive. I've been living with my girlfriend for 2 years. At first, everything was great. We got along well, spent time together, and had a good balance between our personal lives and being a couple. But a few months ago, she started building a career as an influencer. At the beginning, it was just a fun hobby for her. Some pictures, a couple of videos, nothing over the top. I always supported her and was proud that she found something she enjoyed. However, things quickly spiraled out of control. Our apartment has turned into her personal studio. Every corner has to be perfectly curated for photos. Every room is a potential backdrop for her vlogs. When I come home tired from work, all I want is to relax. But immediately there's a camera in my face because she's filming content. Even our private conversations are often recorded without my prior consent, and then I find them posted in her videos. It got especially awkward when she posted part of a conversation where I shared something deeply personal, which I didn't expect to be made public. I tried talking to her about it, but she always brushes it off, saying I'm overreacting and that it's just part of her job, and I should be more understanding. Over time, this has started to wear me down. I feel like I no longer have any space in our home where I can just be myself without worrying about being filmed or photographed. A few days ago, after yet another incident where I came home and was caught on camera, I decided to have a serious conversation with her. I told her that I understand her influencer career is now an important part of her life, but for me, it's becoming too much. I suggested that maybe she should consider moving out, not because I want to break up with her, but because I need a private space where I don't feel constantly watched. She flipped out. She said I was selfish, that I wasn't supporting her career, and that I was trying to control her. She accused me of sabotaging her success instead of being proud of what she's achieved. Now, we're barely speaking, and I feel like my boundaries and needs aren't being respected at all. On one hand, I get that her job excites her, but on the other hand, am I really the asshole for just wanting some privacy and space in my own home? AITA, relevant comments. Commenter, you are NTA for wanting privacy in your own home. It's completely reasonable to expect a living space free from constant filming and recording, especially without your explicit consent. OP, exactly. Home should be a place where we can maintain a certain level of anonymity, not a space where we're constantly exposed online. Commenter, do you actually know that it's illegal in some countries to film, photograph people without their consent? That's how serious this is. Your home is your private sanctuary, and your life is not a reality show for people to watch while taking a shit in the morning. This is a deal breaker for most. She doesn't respect you. NTA and dump her. Commenter, she's delusional to accuse you of that. She's showing her character to not respect your boundaries. Story 2. AITA for kicking my mom out after she brought my ex into my home. I'm 21, and I just started living on my own for the first time. A few months ago, I finally managed to rent a small apartment. It was a huge step for me because I grew up with a mother who always tried to control every part of my life. My ex-boyfriend is a whole story by himself. We were together for 2 years, and during that time, he constantly cheated on me and emotionally manipulated me. When I finally got the strength to break up with him, I promised myself I'd never let him back into my life. But for some reason, my mom always found him charming. Even after we broke up, she continued talking to him despite me begging her to stop. It was painful, but I couldn't stop her. Recently, my mom lost her job and couldn't afford rent for a while. I offered to let her stay with me for a few weeks until she found something else. Things were going okay until one day, I came home to see him, my ex, sitting at my kitchen table like he owned the place, drinking tea. My mom, completely unfazed, said, "Oh, I thought you two should talk and work things out." I was shocked. I told her this is my home and he will never be a part of my life again, and she just brushed off what I said. My ex sat there with a smug grin like this was some kind of joke. I snapped. I told my mom that if she couldn't respect my boundaries, she could pack her stuff and leave. She started crying, saying she had nowhere else to go and that she was just trying to help. But I was so angry I couldn't even think straight. I walked into my room and left her to pack her things on her own. Now, she's staying with a friend, but my entire family is furious with me, accusing me of throwing my own mother out on the street. They don't understand that she completely disregarded my boundaries and brought someone into my home who had emotionally abused me. Still, I feel awful. Maybe I went too far? AITA for kicking my mom out after she brought my ex into my home? Relevant comments. Commenter, if your other family members are so upset, why don't they offer a room to her instead of you in your tiny apartment? OP, exactly. I've been thinking the same thing. They're all quick to judge me, but no one's offering her a place to stay. It's frustrating how they expect me to sacrifice my peace and boundaries, yet won't do the same. Commenter, she can go live with your ex if she likes him so much. You did the right thing. Protect your boundaries even if it means kicking out your mother. Being family doesn't give anyone the right to disrespect your boundaries, And this includes mothers. You have no reason to feel guilty. Your mother is the only person that should be apologizing. Story 3. I'm making plans to leave my husband. I feel relieved and guilty about it. The straw broke the camel's back last night, and I guiltily feel almost relieved about it. For context, my husband, 33M, either cannot or will not prioritize me, 29F, at all. We have been married for almost 8 years. I'm not expecting to be treated like a queen, but I want to be treated like I'm actually his partner in life. My husband is a blue-collar worker who works a family business in the construction field. Because it's a family business, there is seemingly no boundary between his work and personal life. It's like he's married to his job. Anniversary trips have been canceled the day before because he needed to work. He couldn't pick me up from surgery because he needed to work last minute. He has canceled every date I've tried to plan in the last 4 years because he suddenly has to work. I gave up a year ago though, etc. It just seems like every time I try to plan something to spend time with him, he suddenly needs to work and cancels on me last minute. I constantly feel like I'm being stood up for prom, but I'm his wife. But it's not as if he only prioritizes work and flakes on his friends. There are much too many examples of how he has been able to make plans with his buddies to meet up and drink beer, smoke cigars, shoot the shit. His friends will call him and invite him on spur-of-the-moment week-long fishing trips, and my husband will leave work immediately to pack and hit the road. But when I wanted to go to a nice restaurant for our anniversary one evening, he told me the night before that I needed to cancel the reservation because he would be working late. It makes me feel like he prioritizes spending time with his friends over me because he'll easily blow off work for them, but he never does for me. I also feel like he prioritizes his goals over mine. He has taken out loans for the family business sake, using our joint money without even talking to me about it first. This has happened 3 times. All through our dating relationship and engagement, he told me he wanted children. After we had been married 4 years ago, I told him I wanted to start trying for a baby. He told me he never wanted kids, and he had always been afraid to tell me because he didn't want to lose me. But now, I feel like he took away my option. I really do appreciate how hard my husband works, but I just wanted to spend time with him and have time made for me, like he'll do for his friends. I have made peace with the fact that I may never be a mother. I am not sure if I'm being petty about this entire thing, but I feel like he robbed me of my best chance and years for doing it, at the very least. I told him in April that I wanted to get a divorce, and I explained why, but I told him I was willing to do marriage counseling. He told me he wanted to do marriage counseling with our pastor. So we did, and my husband's biggest issue with me is that I'm disorganized. It's true, I have ADHD and often lose things. I'm trying to work on it. My husband also complained about our sex life, but I tried explaining that I'm rarely in the mood because he only ever touches me when he wants to have sex. Never wants to hold hands, hug me, kiss me, etc. So now I cringe when he reaches for me because I know it only because he wants to have sex. And I think because I was the one asking for the divorce, I was seen as the problem, troublemaker. The pastor was convinced that I had some romantic comedy script in my mind, and I wasn't being realistic about what it means to run your own business. I had to work on being more understanding, patient, and on lowering my expectations and standards. I feel like all I had been asking for was to be treated like a priority and not an afterthought. But the straw broke the camel's back last night. We have been planning to go on a long weekend trip with my siblings and their spouses this upcoming weekend. 2 days ago, my husband told me he had to work this upcoming weekend and couldn't go on the trip. Never mind that it's non-refundable at this point. I said okay and would see if I could get a friend cousin to come with me instead. Then yesterday, he came home all giddy and excited. He told me a buddy of his just called and invited him to a weekend bachelor's party this upcoming weekend. Wow, he is so excited to go. Except the guy he's going to celebrate is someone he has told me he dislikes on multiple occasions. So he canceled going on a weekend trip with myself and my family because he has to work, but he immediately agrees to go on a bachelor's trip for someone he dislikes. Like he literally chose someone he dislikes over his wife? Maybe I'm the one he dislikes. I am not sure if I'm being ridiculous about why I want to leave, but I now no longer care. I'm indescribably unhappy in this marriage, and it's time for me to make a plan and get out. I still feel like I'm young enough that I am not starting completely over, and I'm very thankful we don't have children. I feel relieved that it's going to end now. I feel guilty for feeling this way, but it's just the truth. Relevant comments. Commenter, leave. You're young. Go follow your dreams. Have babies. Have fun. And be a priority to yourself. And you will be a priority for someone else. There is nothing for you in this marriage. Commenter, nothing to feel guilty for. He's shown you countless times that you're not a priority. Onward and upward. Commenter, OMG. Yes, please leave OP. This is incredibly hard. I get being a workaholic, but that's not what he does. He is taking you for granted. and he is living as if he's single. You're young. Leave now with no regrets, YOLO. Good luck, friend. Story 4. My 16M best friend, 16F, still has feelings for me, and I think she might hurt herself. What do I do? So I've been friends with her for almost 3 years now, and I really feel our relationship is special. A little backstory. So we met 2.5 years ago in business class, and we've basically been best friends ever since. She knows more about me than any person on the planet, and I like to think I'm the same to her. Maybe 2 months after we met, she confessed to having feelings for me and confessed to the same. So we were a thing, but I really wanted to keep it secret due to not wanting parents to find out. They wouldn't want me hanging around girls before marriage, and because of previous stuff from middle school that I wanted to prevent. Fast forward a year, and we were still best of friends, but I wasn't feeling the same. I wanted to break it off due to hiding the relationship from nearly every person I know, and because the feelings weren't as strong anymore. She agreed, and we stopped doing whatever we were doing and went back to friends, which has been great, by the way. Now, a couple of weeks ago, she started talking about other dudes. Some I'm friends with, some not. Oh, you know Ramesh, he's so fine, etc. I'm completely fine with this as we're not dating anymore. But now a couple days ago, she started a convo because she was scared I had a girlfriend. I don't. She started saying more and more until she sort of reconfessed. She said she was fine with being friends until grade 12, but wanted more after that. More confession talk, and I said I don't like her like that anymore, and I prefer friends. This absolutely stabbed her heart. We've been trying to talk things through now, but everything is on text. Because it's a long weekend. I can't see her, I don't know how to help her, and frankly, I don't know if she's gonna hurt herself. She hasn't said she will, but she implied it heavily. I genuinely don't know what to do, and I'm scared. I told her to promise me not to hurt herself, and all she said was, "You don't get to make that decision." I also think she took some of the things I said the wrong way. She asked why I made her feel so loved if I don't have feelings for her, and I said I love her the same way as all my friends, not the same amount. But she thinks she's not special to me anymore. She's literally the most special person in my life. I care about her more than anything in the entire world. I can't lose her, and I'm terrified that I might. TLDR, my best friend reconfessed feelings, and I don't feel the same. Now I'm scared our friendship is gone, and she might hurt herself. Comments. If you genuinely think she might hurt herself, you need to tell either her parents or another trusted adult who can intervene. Yeah, you might feel like that's a betrayal of her trust. Yeah, she might be very angry with you about it, but this is her life and well-being. How would you feel if she did hurt herself when you could have told someone who could get her help? The fact is, you're just a kid and not equipped to handle this on your own. If she genuinely is a danger to herself, you need to make sure that she gets the help she needs, especially if you consider her a friend. Story 5. Should I reject a 4-year full-ride scholarship to keep from living 8 hours apart from my boyfriend? 17F, have been in an amazing relationship with my boyfriend, 19F, for 7 months. We met exactly 7 months ago, and he's courted me since the first day we met. As dumb as it sounds, I genuinely think he's the one. He's my first relationship, my first love, my first everything. I have always been an academic-oriented person, dedicating all my high school years to either salutatorian or valedictorian, and the dream university abroad I have been eyeing has finally graced me with the full-ride scholarship that I've been dreaming of. It covers all tuition fees and is the most well-known prestigious university in that country abroad. I have never imagined ever rejecting my dream university for the sole reason that I've always told myself if I ever get into a relationship before I leave the country, he must be supportive of my goals despite the long distance apart. That is, until he mentioned a week ago that he wouldn't be able to stand me being 8 hours away in a different country. He had told me, clearly upset at even just the notion of it, "Please try your best to go to university here. Whatever you do, I'll help you find a scholarship here. I'll use my connections. As long as you're a ride away, not a plane away." Now, I'm conflicted. I still have time to apply for universities here, which I will do for his sake, and the miracle that I do get another full ride offer. But I will always be mourning the fact I could have been at my dream university, that I could have been at the place I've upheld with pride, and most of all, that the scholarship would have been the best thing that ever happened to my family's financial situation. Yet again, I'd rather break my own heart than break his. I don't want to do long distance either. I want to see him every day, and I genuinely think he's the love of my life. So I'm going to try my somewhat best in staying here. Emphasis on somewhat. The worst part is, if I told him the news that I accepted the scholarship, he'd be distraught, but accept my decision nonetheless. The idea of even upsetting him like that is heartbreaking. I'm torn. Call it dumb young love, but we're crazy for each other. Our chemistry has been perfect since day one, and he prioritizes communication most of all. What should I do? TLDR, I'm torn between accepting a 4-year scholarship at my dream university abroad, but living 8 hours apart from my boyfriend, and applying for some random colleges here instead, but at least I'm only a car ride away. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you enjoyed our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with our latest ones. Have a great day.